No, this is not a sponsor. I just could not get good lighting in this room whatsoever, so it happened to be next to a fan. But if Latco wants to sponsor me, why not? What's going on, guys? Welcome to Clutch People. I hope you guys are having an amazing day or night, and today I'm going to be talking about Saddiq Bey. Saddiq Bey is from Villanova. He's 6'8", 216 pounds. He's capable of playing the small forward spot and also the shooting guard spot as well. And as you guys know, the Knicks have really struggled with shooting from downtown recently, but that's okay, because this kid shoots 45% from 3. But you guys are probably wondering, where would you draft Saddiq Bey? Like, 8 is a big time reach, and he's not falling there at 27. In my opinion, if we want to go out there and get Saddiq Bey, you have to deal with a 27th pick and a second rounder to trade up in like that 15th or 16th slot. Saddiq Bey brings a lot to the table, and he might be a redemption pick. Of course, we decided to draft Kevin Knox over Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges has been one of the greatest on-ball defenders in the NBA. He wasn't really that sexy pick, but he was that player that made an impact right away, and it looks like he's going to be a solid player for a long time, being a good 3-and-D player fitting today's NBA. If you take a look at Kevin Knox, when we took him, we knew he was going to be a project. And in my opinion, he had an overrated rookie year, because who else was going to score that basketball? Who was the true number one option? Emmanuel Mudiay, who I just couldn't stand watching. But then we really saw this past season when he didn't have much of an opportunity, even when he came in games. I get it, for the first 10 games, he shot over 40% from downtown, and then the last 50, he shot horrendous, shooting 20% from downtown. And when his shot is not on, he doesn't have the greatest of handle in the world. He's not the greatest at finishing at the basket. Can't guard the perimeter. He has tunnel vision. He makes a lot of bad mistakes in basketball games. And if there's one little thing he improved, that's defending the rim. But that's about it. You don't want to hear that from your 9th overall pick of the lottery. But we'll see what happens with Kevin Knox. Like I said, Mikal Bridges is going to be a very solid player for a long time. And that's really what I think Saddiq Bey can be. Saddiq Bey, of course, he's 21 years old, but he's a good basketball player. He's just so solid that you can't pass on him. I would definitely trade up to get this kid, but it really depends what you do with the 8th overall pick. Do you draft a point guard and then you get your shooter of the future / defensive player of Saddiq Bey? Because I'm telling you, he's a dog defensively, and he plays with a high motor. Even when he's lacking, he's really good at recovering. And I don't mean lacking that he's lazy. Sometimes a point guard can catch him off balance, but he's still really good at recovering. It's really rare that that does happen, but when it does, he's really good at recovering and using his long wingspan and effort. And he just has such great footwork, and he's so good at the little details when it comes to defensively. If it's guarding outside the perimeter, blocking shots at the rim, he's an unbelievable basketball player. And when it comes to his shooting, maybe you could say his release is kind of slow. That's yet to be determined. We'll see if it translates to the NBA. But he's so good at coming off of screens. But like I said, he hit threes at a very high clip. If there's a big time knock on him, it's definitely performing off the dribble, but that's not what you're getting with him. He's kind of like a Robert Covington at catch and shoot. You don't see Robert Covington do a fancy crossover and then shoot a 3-ball. Look at a Mikal Bridges. Maybe he puts the ball on the floor there and there from downtown, but you rarely see him really shoot threes off the dribble. He's more of a spot-up guy, and that's what you're getting with Saddiq Bey. But he's also a very solid athlete as well. He can do some big-time dunks, and he's had some big-time posters in his collegiate career with Villanova. But yes, he's not the sexy pick, but he's a player that's going to make an impact right away if the Knicks do go on to draft him. His handle's definitely a big-time question mark, but he can shoot it from beyond the arc. Good on-ball defender. He can protect the rim as well. Plays with a high motor. That is definitely not a question mark. Sometimes he could have tunnel vision, but you're not taking him to really be a passer. You're taking him to be a complete bucket. Mikal Bridges isn't a crazy good playmaker. I'm comparing him to Mikal Bridges because that's been one of the most recent 3-and-D players, and I think it's a good comparison. And yes, they just happen to both be from Villanova. I'm not saying they're the exact same player, but they're pretty damn close in my opinion. And if the Knicks go on to draft him, they're getting an impact right away basketball player that's going to produce on both ends of the floor. And I'm really excited to see what he could do at the NBA level. He's not a crazy good athlete, and what I mean by his athleticism, I mean just straight line speed. It's not like Russell Westbrook level. But I'm really excited to see what he's going to do in the NBA. Should the Knicks go on to trade up for him? Is there something that scares you about Saddiq Bey? And as always, guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, y'all.